Good morning, everybody. Hi, Cindy. So you can I didn't post that video yet, but Cindy has been acting differently, and I took her to the vet, and we think she might have Cushing's. I should get the results today. I'm going to help somebody later on for a while, but my dad's psychologist is calling, and I think he calls at 10, so I'll go help her later this afternoon. But I wanted to show you, this is my scallions. Well, some of them. They're doing quite well, and these are grown so they're not bunching. But what I do is I start them on a paper towel, and when they just start to root, I can sit and place them wherever I want so that they're separate. They grow a little larger. You can pull one if you want, but I plan on just cutting off the tops. But at the end of the year, when they've grown larger, I take them out and I actually steam them or pan fry them, and they're really, really good. There we go. This mountain laurel. When they redid the septic, they destroyed this thing. My dad's like, it grows so slow, please don't trim it. I'm like, nope, they took care of that. There's a couple of places, I don't know if you can see them, but I have wire ties in there. That was to hold the stems together until they came back enough, and finally it just couldn't handle it anymore. There wasn't enough left for it to survive, but it kept some of it together so that it's starting to regrow from the bottom and all that. So, but it really took a beating. That was horrid. Sometime I'll put together a little collage and show you just what happened to this yard and why it's in the condition it is. But this lily, isn't it beautiful? Well, it's going to be really pretty. I think it's a yellow one, and it's the real tall. I would like to transplant it sometime over into the side where all the other lilies are. Blueberry's doing good. I gotta get these guys covered. I think next week I'll start. Yeah, I'll start. The birds come in here, but they don't really eat the berries. What they were eating was the remnants of the flowers. But shortly they will start on these berries. So, and this is the first bush, usually, supposedly. Past few years, this has been the second bush to get right. It's supposed to be the first bush, but from the looks of it, I think it's going to be first bush this year. Anyway, a little front. I got a couple of weeds, and there's Gigi. Make yourself at home. Hi. Yeah, hi. So, I have to fix this front. This got whacked, but the bottom there, these two things in front have to be replaced, the columns, because the bottom's rotted, but it got whacked really bad. In fact, we can see where it got whacked really bad. So, that has to be made new sometime. This side I'm still working on. But yesterday before the rain, I came out and did some trimming to try to tighten up the yard a little bit. And it doesn't look so bad. Weeds are ridiculous. They really are. This thing was straight white clover. This is all white clover. All around the front. That was all. It's like a carpet of white clover. Makes me nuts. Makes me absolutely insane. In here, there's the bindweed and all that stuff coming up. I have to go in there, and I haven't done it for 3 or 4 years, I guess. So it's not that bad. It looks bad now, but it's not as bad as it could be. I cut it, And then I take cleaning solution vinegar and salt, and double strength salt, and I put it around the bottom and on the end of the cut, and it takes care of it. But the thing about this kind of weed, I think what happens is that when you trim it like that, it just spreads through the roots and you get more of it. And it goes there like everywhere else. It probably started as one little tiny thing many years ago, and now but it's basically confined to that little area there, at least for this. And there's a little bit over here, but mostly over here is raspberries, the wild ones. They're not good to eat. If you want to collect like 5 million of them, you can press them and make some juice. And if you you could use it for something, I guess, but I don't. I have enough other stuff. There is a lot of weeds in this corner. This will be next week. I'm not even stressing on this. When they cut the tree down, they did a lot of walking. As you can see, there's even a path where they took stuff out. It really got chewed up pretty bad. And I think over the winter, deer came through here too. But the way it's growing, I think most of this damage is just from when they cut the tree down, because it was a lot of damage that was done over here. So, and I have to come out and take care of these too, but we have fall in the summer. It's another thing I gotta trim when I take care of this corner next week, because there's some really nice things coming up here, lilacs and some hydrangeas. And the forsythia came up, and there's a lot of stuff doing really well, but I don't want the weeds to take over. But because this stump is really actually dead, there's not enough sap to support. We have fall color, nice, but these stumps, at least that one, is going to start rotting out. And someone told me that I have to be really careful because the roots will rot from underneath, and it will actually, the ground will be spongy. And my friend was a maple tree. She had one cut down, and her nephew fell into the hole. He didn't even know it was a hole till he walked over it, and it was rotten from underneath. So luckily it's off in the corner. She said hers was in the yard, so I don't have to be riding the mower over it or anything. And the violets are taking over. And Pachysandra up here. I can't tell which one is winning. I'm going to have to ask somebody. I hope that the Pachysandra win. Actually, I think they may, from the looks of it in other places in the yard. And depending on the sunlight thing, it'll be whoever wins what. And there's vinca up in the back, so that could be the same. So a lot of this is going to be wait and see what happens. But some places I plant mostly bulbs or perennials because I don't mess around under here too much. I was letting the goats just clear it out, but there ended up to be the rhododendron they can't eat. There's too much stuff they can't eat. And there's something else, I forget the name of it, but it's not really toxic to them, but it gives them an upset stomach. So I figure I'll figure out another way to keep it, cleared. And I think violets are going to be the deal. Also next week sometime up and back here, there's a whole bunch of sassafras. Ugh. And this is where the goats come in handy because they love sassafras. I want to wait until the bleeding hearts die down though, because they eat the crap out of the bleeding hearts. So I don't know if I want to come up here and trim and toss the larger ones over the edge and wait, because there's a lot of other stuff. These tall things over here, I'm not sure what they are, but all these, I know Mayhem likes them. He would love to be up here for the afternoon, but again, there are things up here that I really don't want them to eat. Oh, lordy, lordy. Originally, the plan was to have this fence come down from that rock more towards where I'm standing now. But there's azalea and there's other things in there, again, are toxic. And rather than take them out, because they do help block the gas station, where did that come from? The golf course. I don't know. So, but as you can see, the goats do very well keeping this clear. It's time to move the fence back, because it's really, they've got like 99.9% of everything out of here. So it's time to move farther back, because I can see that there's stuff growing back there and poison ivy and all. So I have another fence, and what I'll do is add it on, I think. What I'll do is go add it on and then drop a part of this and send one or two around up and back. And then they'll be able to get that cleared out, and everybody will be happy. Me and the maintenance guys at the golf course, and some of the golfers do come down and pay attention to the goats, especially some of my neighbors. Oh, how cute. Check it out. Whoop, wrong way. Always do that. It's like, hello, we're in jail. Did you come to visit us? It's like the two of them are standing there staring at me. Isn't that hysterical? It's like so funny. Whoops. There we go. Let's see. She's going. You're staying. I'll bet you take off. We'll wait 1 second and see. Are you going to follow, or are you going to see if I'm going to throw you something? That's what you're doing. You're waiting to see if I'm throwing you food, but I'm not. I have coffee. I have a cup of coffee, but you're not getting it. Wrong pipe. Nope, as long as I stand here, he'll stand there. So, and these pink bushes, I forget what they're called, but I like those. Those are the ones that come in after the bleeding heart. And this is the Andromeda. So it's kind of like the change of the seasons. So, but isn't this grass a sin? I mean, it really is a sin. It's so expensive too. But you know what? I have a new trick. Those things are coming up. And my little piles of trash are getting smaller and smaller. These pipes. Oh, this is the blueberry cages. I gotta get rid of this wood. I need to get a burn barrel, actually. I have to cut up. That's the part of the top of what was over for the carport. That part was the original part that was over the well. My dad first made one part over the well, and the well is over here. It's that concrete slab. Under that is the well. And the back doors, that under that well was, over the well was that, and there was a part that went over so that it would cover the door so my mom could go outside and not get wet. But especially even when we were little, this whole area here was covered by carport, which I've since had to take down. So anyway, but these poles are part of the second, when I put up these, whatever you call these things. But I'm going to cut some of the thinner ones into poles for the front, kind of like Christmas, but so that I can put up, I don't know, some kind of like a chain or something, because when kids come, they tend to walk through the flower beds and they squish the flowers that really aren't even growing well yet. So, I mean, kids will be kids, but if you put up something and it seems like you shouldn't walk there, maybe they won't. Silly me. But my dianthus. And I threw some seeds back here, but I don't see anything growing. So, there's a couple. Here's a couple. Yay. Just a few. So, maybe eventually some will. Back here I had mayhem for a while. So you can see like all the broken stuff that I have to trim. It's going to be beautiful today. I wish I wasn't going to help her, but I really have to. She's my dear friend Anna, 88 I think, and she has so much to do and she has no help. And it's not because of uncaring. It's her family. They work so hard. They really, really do. So, and we went through the garden yesterday. So, and I started to clean out this part the day before yesterday. I cut down that's how I do daffodils. I don't do the tie the knot and all that. It's too much work because you have to do things twice. I wait until they start to fall over and then I hack them off. And that's what I do. And some of the lilies did survive from last year. The few, you can see some that are really small, relatively new. The few that did come up, I did take the tops. And somebody told me that after they bloom and they make the seed pod, you plant it. And I did. And I think it worked in some places because there are some new ones. But my big vanilla scented one is gone. That was like the first one I got for them. And it's usually one of the really, really tall ones. And boy, that would come out and it filled this from all this sedum, right from this corner over to right where the porch meets the house. That whole corner here, all of it, was these big vanilla scented iris. You come out here and that's why it smelled like cookies. It was so nice. Gone. And there was a red one, like dark red, that was right in here. I didn't notice it last year, and I'm hoping that maybe there was like some kind of remnant of it trying to grow last year. I was out with my mom and got that. We were driving and stopped at like a light or something, and there was a plant sale, like one of those on the corner plant sales, and there was this beautiful dark red lily, and she's like, how lovely. So I says, okay, we'll stop. We stopped and got it, and I put it there so that, because she was in one of those wheel, the motorized wheelchair, and she could go out, before she ended up in bed, but she could go out, and she was pretty mobile. So, so much stuff she could drive through. She could just drive by and see stuff. So, and in one fatal swoop, and that was not even, I didn't say, when you got a minute, clean out over there. It was, I came home one day, just like the front, and all my daylilies gone, just like that. It was like, oh, it did a surprise for you. It's like, what a, So anyway, but over here, rain did them good. Those were $1. I got, it was a 6-pack of Sun Impatience. And then the leftovers of the, some people call them wood rose. It's my dad's favorite flower. They're portulaca, but some people call them wood roses. I don't know why. But, and then the less. Well, all except for two. I did save 2 marigolds to put over by the cabbage to see if they'll keep bugs away. And, yep. The rain does good for everything. Oh my goodness. I wanted to get out here like way early so that it wouldn't get weedy like this. But one problem was that the beginning, the spring, rained so much. It rained so much that I couldn't get out here. But as you can see, a lot of it really, it's the leaves I really wanted to get. But you can't really get the leaves when it's wet, so that kind of put me back. Most of the thing here is the daffodils that have to be cut. It's not really extensively weedy. I mean, there's a bunch of it, but this is all spent daffodils. So once those get cleaned up and the leaves get out, it'll be a lot better. That was the actual thing I wanted, was the leaves to come out of here. And they took everything except the leaves. And the hibiscus starting to come up. But it was up there, right next to that rock, there's a little one. And when they would fall, I would shake them off the edge. So there's some over here. And I do leave the last year's stems sticking up so I can see where they were. And be really careful not to mistakenly cut anything down. So, and this is down here where we get more into like the weedy stuff. I really don't, honestly, get down this far that often. I usually just weed whack it because there's a lot of accidents down here. I mean, you can see. This is one. That's been hit a couple of times. That stone got knocked out. That was a different one. This tree has been whacked and tortured so many times. Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that up there. A lot of the branches are dying. I think this tree is on its way out. And I do wish that they would come cut it. I keep asking them, come trim it. But, whoops. Whoa, almost dropped the phone. But, so, and then the hollies. These are the hollies I trim. If you're watching this in your local, actually pretty soon, I'll go out and cut, and I treat them with glycerin and sell them like around the holidays. And I do cut fresh for the holidays too. But you have some you can see, they get a lot of berries because I trim them and I do feed them and everything. I take care, even though they're on the sidewalk, I take good care of them. And there's one for when that goes. This one's going to be a tree. I don't know if you can see it in there. But there is one, it's got a pretty straight, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a pretty straight stem. I'm going to let that one be a tree. So I guess that's about it for now. Nice little walk around. And noisy. Dad's rose. He gets up, he looks at that from the window and he's like, it's beautiful. It started with the one bud and then more and more. He loves it. And the lupin that I just got him, that's on its way. I guess birds must eat it from the bottom up. because the little petal things aren't really falling off, but they're disappearing. So I'm thinking that birds must go up, like they do with blueberries. They eat the very ends. So need a lot of work on the sidewalk, but holy smoke, it's dangerous down here. There's so many accidents and stuff that I am afraid, really, to spend too much time down here at all. And you have to watch the time of day, and you have to be careful with everything. Let's put it that way. Even just every week I pick up the trash, and it's a harrowing experience. So, oh well. But Mayhem did good down here. It looks nice. Well, it doesn't look nice, but it looks nicer, I shall say. So, very good. Okay, everybody. I hope you're having a really good day. Somebody's going to work. Yay. Beautiful day. It's going to be. That clouds are on their way by, and past that is what today is going to be. That's where the weather comes from. So hope everybody has a beautiful day. Take care until next time. Be safe. Take care. Bye.